Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Shezi, and I'm back better. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do the right things. Hit the notification button, subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends and family. And so, as requested, I'll be doing a video, as you can see titled down below. Today's video, it's all about my life after matric. Yeah man, just a little bit of story time, for my subscribers. So a lot of people usually say life after matric sucks, and it has like turned to be like it's a style, life after matric is shit. Matric was very nice. I was getting good marks at school, I was hard working, and I told myself that I wanted to pursue my dream of like studying for Bachelor of Education in intermediate phase. And yeah man, I always wanted to go to Wits University. If you are close to me, you know how much Wits University means to me, because when I was doing grade 11, we were taken to that school and we were showed everything. I told myself that this is where I want to be. People, it seemed like I was crazy. They were like looking at me like this, that way. Unfortunately, it happened that I did not apply. Really, I only applied at University of Johannesburg, and also I applied through CAO. So that's basically KwaZulu-Natal based institutions, because I just didn't want to spend so much money. And also man, the whole applying process, it was just too much for me, because the workload also that comes with MATRIC, it was massive. Then when it was 2019 early, when we got our results, my mom called me when I was at home back in KZN. They told me that I passed with the bachelor, so I'm still happy that I passed with the bachelor. Then the next thing, I'm getting the email from UJ bang rejected. UJ is the king of rejection. I wasn't so happy about how things turned, because I told myself that I'm gonna do school, and then after school I'm going to study. You always have things planned, but then life after matric is life after matric. They will reject you. UJ, it now heard her.
But I heard her. They will hurt you.
Oh, no. So I decided that I would take the gap year, because I couldn't go study at the university that I was taken in KZN. I felt like I wanted to be close to my family. So I just told myself that let me just take a gap year. My mom told this other lady from our hood that I passed my matric, and then the lady told her husband, because her husband was working in the hotel. He's like the master chef there. So they introduced me to this program that I could do. It was like 4 years. 1 year you like work throughout the year in each and every department in the hotel. So that's where they're trying to see if like you can cope with the pressure that comes with the hotels and everything. And then the other year, that's where you start working and studying at the same time. You study at UJ and everything up until you're finished with your degree. And that was 2019 when I started working. I was so happy about the financial freedom, because I knew that I was able to buy myself whatever that I want without asking for my mom. The financial freedom is just nah. So I was shopping every month, taking myself out. Being spoiler. It was so nice up until it was 2020. I moved to another hotel. I wasn't really so happy. I felt like the manager in that hotel was kind of like racist, and just a lot was going on. So yeah man, so I was at the point where I was tired about everything. I was tired of working long hours. I was tired of like being taken for granted. I was tired of pleasing other people, because I'll tell you something, people that have money are so very disrespectful. People that we were dealing with, people would come and shout at me when I was working in the reception, for small things. Because I was working in each and every department, sometimes we'll need to clean someone else's mess. I'd also clean rooms, clean my toilet, and then you're just cleaning people's mess. And I'd also be at the point where I mop like the huge restaurant. And then at that time, because I didn't know how to mop, because at home I wasn't really cleaning, my sister would do that work. So mopping and everything, sometimes they would make you work Sundays and then they end up not paying you for them. So to me, I was working like someone that did not go to school. To me, I was working like someone that did not have any qualification, although I had MATRIC. And it was hard. For me as a trainee, I did not have any say. I needed to do whatever that they wanted me to do. And it was sad, because not only your managers will make you work, but also the staff members. When someone feels like they are too lazy to do their job, they would call you. So I was just tired of everything. Sometimes they will make you go to a room that is full of papers, and then they tell you to just check that single invoice, and then it was just overwhelming, and they just didn't really care about how you feel about everything. They just didn't really care. As long as you do what they want you to do, or you do what they ask you to do. So it was hard. So yeah, man, in the process, in that period of lockdown level 5, I tend to I got some time to think and self-introspect, and it was really painful. I was mad at myself. I was at the depression period. I was angry at myself for abandoning my dreams, where I wanted to be after school. It was painful. We were not getting paid. Sometimes we'll get paid, and then the money that they pay us is not the money that they usually pay us. It's so little. And then my level 3, they will call you to come to work, and you must borrow to people, and then you go to work, and then when you come back from work, back busy for 3 days in the month. And then that money that you get paid for that 3 days, you need to pay people that abakibezile for that 3 days. So I got to a point where I saw that really life will fuck you up, regardless if you have MATRIC or you don't. Life will fuck you up. And I was it hurts to see that all the dreams that I had, they kind of faded away. And I just felt like no one cared. No one could ask me, how are you doing? How are you coping with this whole situation? I think I was excited about this little money that I was getting. Instead of me going to university and be like my peers, study, I'll always tell my friends, they felt like I was living my best life at that point in Sebent. They felt like I was living my best life. I complain ngama academics wabo, and I was like, guys, mina, if I were you, I'd be grateful that I'm studying, rather than working. Because when you are working, man, number one, you wake up in the morning, you go to work each and every day, and then at the end of the month you get peanuts, and you are not really taken serious. People I felt like they were just using me, so I got to a point where I was depressed. I feel like I've wasted so many years, although it's 2 years. I felt like I wasted so many years doing something that really didn't matter, Bekubuhlungu. The working industry, it wasn't and I wish like we had people that would guide us on what to do, because really life after matric really sucks. People are very abusive. People bring their problems from back at home, they bring them to work. Also I think ngomsebenzi, it's not about umsebenzi. Sometimes umsebenzi awukho nzima, it's just people that you're working with that makes it seem like kunzima. They didn't tell us what was going to happen with school that year, because we were supposed to go to school. They didn't tell us anything, they just kept quiet. When at that time you can see that your peers are doing their second years, your peers are studying. What are you doing? You're just sitting and there's nothing that's happening. They were not giving us like the consistent update on what's going to happen next. See, back to lady, I felt like, yeah, now we're in deep shit. You know, my hopes, my dreams, the faith that I had, gone. You know, I was always praying that God shows me the way. I couldn't sleep at night thinking, what is it that's going to happen with your life? Now that you are here, what's going to happen? I couldn't sleep. The thought of understanding that I had promises that I made to myself and I couldn't keep them. I couldn't go to school. I ran for money that isn't even enough, you know. And also I couldn't proceed with this whole thing because I felt like it wasn't me. It's not something that I like. I was like, why from the first time usifake into ongayithandi, knowing that you don't like it? And my dreams are just there. All of the goals that I've set, they're still in that book that I used to write. And then looking at that book today, I'm like, you really lied to yourself. You know, it was painful. I couldn't sleep at night. Each and every day at night I couldn't sleep. The pressure is just too much. And then when these things finally happen, the other family members are like they reminding me how much time I've wasted. And they're like, we told you to go to school, you know. It was really painful. You know, it hurts when someone makes promises to you and then they don't keep them. But imagine making promises to yourself and then you don't keep them. Hurts. And people knew me from school and they were like, how, when aren't you studying, aren't you doing something? Because you are good at school, now what? And I can't even answer myself. But guys, this is to say to you, I know that I have subscribers that are currently finished their matric, and also the ones that are currently in matric. Your dreams come first. Like, make sure that you keep the promises that you make to yourself. If things don't work out how you wanted them to work out this year, don't be too hard on yourself. You know, don't beat yourself. Just go with the flow. And if you are in matric and you really want to go to school next year, apply as much as you can. Don't only apply to that one school, because it will reject you regardless if you qualify or you don't. It will reject you due to space. It will reject you due to numerous reasons. Focus on things that you like, and don't run for money. Like, if you find yourself working, you never go to school again. Chances are like this of you going to school. You go and be happy with that little money, not knowing that that money won't even last you long. Yes, first 1 or 2 years, it'll feel like it's too much, but then it's really not too much. Think that if you decide to move out, will you be able to cope with this money? If you decide to move out, if you decide to make life and have kids, is this money going to be enough? No, it's not going to be enough. I just want to tell you guys that focus, keep your head high. The whole thing just made me to go back and look at where I wanted to be from the start. I was like, is this where you wanted to be? No. Some people look at you from the distance. They look at you on the social media and they assume that you have everything under control. That's not the truth. You don't have things under control. I don't know for how many times have I prayed for God to show me the way, and every time I pray, I say to God, ndibeke apho kuthanda khona wena, because really I'm at the point where I don't know what's happening with my life. And the pressure that you get from the family, they expect you to be doing something, where else also we are confused. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know what's the next step. I was so broke after that year. I was so broke that I couldn't even afford for, like, I made myself like I exposed myself to a lot of things, different things, because I even started smoking cigarettes. But after the whole thing, where they were not communicating with us at work, I couldn't even afford cigarette. The true run that you buy for cigarette, I don't even have. You need to ask for that money from your mother, and you need to ask for that money from the kids, because even bonabangcono, they get their money care, but for you there's nothing. There's nothing. Like you up, will fuck you up. Whether you're a good student, whether you're an average student, it will really fuck you up. I have never been so depressed. If you just finished your matric right now, I'd advise you to take a step. Don't relax, because if you relax, you're gonna get the results of that. You don't want to rush things. They're in the working industry, it's the pits. Stay true to yourself. The money will literally make you blind. I feel like whenever the time is right, even if you didn't get a chance to go to school this year, maybe you were in matric last year, keep your head high. Whenever the time is right, God will make the way. God will make it happen in our dreams. Let's not abandon. Let's always keep the promises that we made to ourselves, because those are the promises that matter most. I don't know what you take from my story, but let it be that whatever that you take, I just don't want people to go through what I went through. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment on the comment section, subscribe, hit the notification button to be the first one to know when I upload my next video. Shout out to you guys. Till next time. Bye.